Hey guys, today I want to talk about exclusiveness and Freejam's interpretation of exclusiveness. Now, first of all, before we get into the meat of things, I want to bring up context to this situation. You see, in Robocraft, back in the old days, all the way back, we used to have seeds. Now seeds worked like a core to your robot, and you would put it there, and if the seed was destroyed, you would die. And due to, I guess, balance issues, they would have to be removed. Now, on a later date, way after they were removed, they were brought back as a cosmetic option. Now, specifically, they were brought back, let's see, here, an update last year. They were brought back as an exclusive reward for people who played back in certain times. Now let me read up this update here. Early access player rewards. As a way of thanking you for being a part of the development journey, we're going to be handing out some very exclusive rewards to all our players who registered accounts before us releasing tomorrow's update. When you log in after tomorrow's update has been released, you'll receive some goodies. What you receive will be dependent on how long you've been with us. Now here's the models of the seeds you could receive, all the way back to the first classic model that was way back in the day. And here it lists how long back you'd have to be signed up to receive it for free. Don't forget that pilot seed cosmetics are exclusive to the update, and so you won't find them in crates, the shop, or in the forge. You also won't be able to download robots from the CF with pilot seed parts you don't have. Also, if you recycle the parts, you lose them and you won't be able to get them back. This is very important. Now, recently, Freejam released the Infinity update. Now, full disclaimer, I think it's a great update. Definitely has improved the game massively. For example, we got infinite of every item now that we've unlocked. People who had a certain amount of legendaries would get golden versions of it. I got all the goldens, I'm very happy about that. They also added an item shop, a bit like Fortnite's item shop, which is actually pretty great. But imagine my surprise when I go into the shop and I see the cosmetic classic seed sold for $5. And that confused me greatly, because I did not see in the patch notes anywhere that these were no longer exclusive for some reason. Now, as a response to this, I tweeted out to the developers to see what they had to say about this, because I was obviously very confused as to why this had happened. And I actually had to use the Wayback Machine to even find the previous update that mentioned the update where they added the cosmetic seeds, because if you go to the update page right now, you'll just get a 404 error since I think this is due to the website being changed so much, but it was pretty hard to actually find the website itself. I didn't get exactly the response I was looking for. Cluely, who has worked with Freejam, just mentioned that, well, people complain if they have it, and people will complain if they sell it, so might as well offer content for new players. I also got a response from Left of Never, who is the community manager for Robocraft. Let's see what he says here. I understand you may be annoyed that things we're giving for free as a thank you are now being sold over a year later, but some people weren't able to get them for whatever reason first time around. Now they can, and their purchase keeps the lights on. And I said I fully understand that, but you just putting it quietly there and not being addressed feels bad. There was nothing hidden about it, but I'll ensure to write a forum post when I'm back out in after the weekend. I don't understand where he gets this from. There was nothing hidden about it. Nobody really knew about this. It wasn't mentioned anywhere, and I only noticed it when I saw one of the seeds on the shop. Now, since then he has posted that blog forum post, and I don't think it's a very good way of responding. Titled Omissions from the Patch Notes. Hey there, last week's Infinity update was the single biggest update in Robocraft's history, and with it came lots of great new content, features and improvements, nearly all of which was mentioned in the patch notes. We overlooked a couple things that should have been included in the patch notes. For that we sincerely apologize. We work harder to ensure better communication of features and changes with you, the community. Now, something I haven't even mentioned yet, that in the Infinity update they added AI into matches, which generally is fine. Crosshair does the same thing, but this is the first time in the history of Robocraft that we get AI in real matches, and they didn't even consider to mention that anywhere. There's a few posts on Reddit, for example, talking about, well, trying to debunk if people are actually bots. For example here, like bot-like behavior in Robocraft Battle Arena mode. People didn't know that these were in the game, and they simply didn't really remember to put that in the patch notes. That's really weird. Now let's get to the exclusive items. In the run-up to the Infinity update, we talked a bit about the item shop, and that it would be a place to buy cosmetics. We failed to clarify there, and in the patch notes, was that some cosmetic items that had previously been given away as exclusive promotional items or rewards would be available to purchase. We should have been clear in our intention that exclusive meant time-limited exclusive. What? Time-limited? Let's go back here and see how they worded. Don't forget that Pilot Seed cosmetics are exclusive to the update, and so you won't find them in crates, the shop, or in the forge. You won't be able to download robots from CRF with Pilot Seed parts you don't have. Also, if you recycle parts, you'll lose them and won't be able to get them back. That doesn't say, it doesn't even hint towards this being time exclusive. The addition of Pilot Seeds and other items in the item shop is not about devaluing your support for the game over the years or throwing a big middle finger to the vets. It was a business necessity, and we apologize we made you feel less valued as a long-time player and supporter. It was never our intention. We honestly felt that Pilot Seeds we were giving out a year ago, free as a thank you. You wouldn't mind others being able to purchase them. Some players miss out on. I understand this. Like, I perfectly understand that it was a necessary business decision, but the way it has been handled is very unacceptable. This line here, meant time limit exclusive, is a straight up lie, and the comments Baronto put it really well. What I could have accepted for Pilot Seeds is, we decided to put all cosmetics in item shop rotation. That would at least been an explanation. What we got feels like a weak excuse instead. I do not believe that having early access rewards time limit exclusive was intended at the time of the release. Definitely not. Definitely not intended as time limited. Feels like Freejam decided now that they didn't mean something they said before. It raises the question, how much cosmetic credits is Freejam's reputation worth? If you want things in the shop to sell, why don't you sell cube skins, like the Halloween cube we had back in the day that were removed? Why don't you sell that as a texture paint? That would be awesome. Or maybe sell classic textures, because cubes looked way different in the back then, and I would love that as a texture for cubes that we could use as just as cosmetic. I would love to pay for that, but instead they just chose to take what usually was a exclusive item and just sell it for $5. Bottom line, Freejam doesn't know what exclusive is, and it feels bad. Still love Freejam, but I do think an apology is needed. A real apology this time, and not just we meant something else, so don't worry. Alright guys, so I almost forgot to add this to the video, but if you go to your inventory, if you own the seeds already, or if you just have bought them on the shop, and you scroll over and look at the description, you can actually see they still haven't even changed the previous description that says cosmetic pilot seed, an exclusive reward for those who started playing in early access phase. What do you think about this situation? Do you think it's perfectly fine that they sell it, or do you think it's a wrong decision? Let me know in the comments.